Hello, everyone. The one. Sorry, I'm late. Actually, I forgot. I put this on for 12:30 or 12:40, and then I was playing chess and just forgot all about it. I don't know how long you guys been waiting for. Actually, there's nobody, just one person, and I hope you haven't been. Oh, from 12:16. Well, 12:16. It wasn't time yet. Says easy to read. Says, hey man, okay. It's John, 24 from Canada. Now, John, last time I asked you if you are the one who was from St. John's, Newfoundland, and you went to States for, you wanted to go to States for medical school, was it? Or am I wrong? And your girlfriend didn't want to come with you and she broke up and all that. Am I right? You never answered me. I don't know, easy to read. I don't remember if I read your comment or not. If you weren't there at the live, then I didn't. If you send a comment, I don't always get to read all comments while I try to, but I don't respond to comments as a consultation. One moment, please. I'll see. All right, let's see. All right. So we have Emin. So say around 22 male from England. So is it normal that OCD will show as a short trailer in early teenage, then go away and show up again in a more serious way in an early adulthood? Look, there is no serious way or short way. It's all just a glitch, a malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. It can happen anytime. When there are children, if it happens, it even becomes seems like a big deal because they're children and they think what their brain says, it means something. When you're older, you have studies and you understand that, like, brain has malfunctions like any other organ. It's not like a set way. It got me when I was like 62. 61, 62, 63 years old. And it just has no roots of any kinds. It's a signaling system of the brain malfunctioning. That's all. Then you go in and you realize what components are involved, and you realize how to rewire the malfunctioning brain and then bring it back to default setting. And then you at least know what it is. And even if it comes back, no matter how many times, you're oblivious to it because you know it's a glitch. It's got nothing to do with you. It's the brain. So then you know how to handle it and you go about your life and you become even stronger than before in your orientation because now you know that is the malfunction of the brain. Oh, easy to read says, no, that's a different guy. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think he was a bit older than 20, what, 22, 24? Yeah, 24. No, sorry, easy to read. I don't remember. Did you send it as a comment or you send it on one of the live streams? Says I last saw her 2 years ago, and I still have a number that she left, but I have no idea if it's still hers. I can't imagine losing her forever, and I'm still too shy to call yet. I don't understand. If you guys broke up, why do you want to call her? Says, I wonder if you got to read my comment about the woman I was hoping to talk to again. Allah, I last saw her 2 years ago, and you still. What have you been doing all these 2 years? Closing your eyes? You haven't looked at any other girl? What's going on with you? You want me to get on the plane and bring the ugly stick and beat you on the head to straighten you out? What the hell, man? Move on. There's not just one woman in this world who you can think she's going to meet your expectations. There's so many amazing women in the world. So, and you're 24 years old, for heaven's sake. Stop being a wussy. Be a man. And go, venture out and see what's going on. Viewpoint says, hey, Mehran. Hello, Viewpoint. And what else here? Easy Teresa says, I wanted to ask what time you typically go live. Unfortunately, I keep missing you. Don't you get notified that I'm going live? Like, haven't you click on the bell under one of my videos on my channel, and then you choose the word all or always? It's supposed to inform you when I go live, the ones who've done that. Bruce says, hi, Mehran. Hello, Mehran. He said, my name is Bruce, 35 years old, male from Toronto, Canada. Says, is it natural to experience more intrusive thoughts than usual due to pain or being sick with a cold? It's normal to have intrusive thought anytime, whether you have a cold or you're ill or not. It can come and go, and we always have all kinds of thoughts, or 80, 90,000 thoughts a day, and many of them could be intrusive, but we don't necessarily take notice of them the way that we would when there's a malfunction in the signaling system of the brain. In midbrain basal ganglia, there is a place called striatum. In the striatum, there are three circles. Goal finding center, reward center, and the habit center. And then right there's a lever called caudate nucleus, which its job is supposed to shut down the intrusive thoughts, the thoughts that are not in line with your values. When that lever malfunctions, then when the intrusive thoughts show up, instead of automatically being decimated and disappearing because of the functioning caudate nucleus, it doesn't. It stays because that's not working well. And then because it stays and hovers, you think, because it didn't go away, you take notice of it. And then you think it might mean something because it's not going away. It's not true. It's just a malfunction. You're going to help your brain to rewire itself using Dr. Schwartz 4-step or many other specialists' ways that they have come up to help you to rewire your brain. But Dr. Schwartz is a gold standard for that, for OCD, intrusive thoughts. And then we go to ERP and CBT and all these different ways that you can help your brain to reprogram itself. Bruce says, my brain has been acting like an asshole. Well, they always do, because they are assholes. They just happen to be on this end of their body. But they have no difference because they have no intelligence. Brain is not intelligent. With the experiments that Dr. Speary and Dr. Penfield of Montreal in the 30s, 60s, or 70s done, they've done over thousands of open brain surgery. And because when you cut into the brain, the skull, then the brain itself has no pain nerves. You can't feel pain. So the patient often was awake while the neurosurgeons were operating and experimenting to help them to localize things. So they could localize sight center, an occipital center in the back, and they could stimulate something and the patient would see something, say, I see a light, or they could stimulate a speech center that the patient would make a noise or sound if they would stimulate part of the brain, or the motoring system, they could stimulate that and localize motoring system, but they could never localize consciousness center. They could never localize math center, mathematics center, intelligence center. None of that was localized in the brain. So brain is an organ, its job is to make thoughts and many other things that it does. But it's not an intelligent place to know that, it does this or does that, or why these things show up and they stay there. It's just, no matter what age, it's a malfunction. And this is, and easy to read says, you bet, I got notification. Just luck, I guess. Oh, okay, good. All righty then. All right. Looks like we have no more questions. Well, I know it's Monday evening. Actually, it's early Tuesday morning. And viewpoint, let me know your age and gender and where you're tuning in from. I know Easy to Read is from Toronto. And Bruce is from Toronto as well. Oh, Easy to Read is also Toronto? Oh, you didn't say, let's see. Easy to Read is from Canada, but you don't say, John, you don't say where in Canada. Could you help me out there? And Emin is from England, so must be 9 o'clock in the morning there, right? 9 something. Viewpoint, let me know where you watching the program. And Bruce from Toronto. I'm still in awe why we haven't populated, while we have a real, sometimes we have real good talks on these live streams, good questions, and we still are not getting enough people to know we have a real good live stream talking about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, breakups, how to get the balance back, move on, and why you feel the way you feel after breakup, and all the other things. About 3,000 videos there on the channel, and also about OCD and OCD subsets, intrusive thoughts, and HOCD and whatnot. But we still don't get the love and appreciation we deserve. So, and Emin says, I have always been straight and still is, but I'm in HOCD. Okay, no panic. I've never had a girlfriend or had sex. All right. How old are you, Emin? Let me look at it. It'd be good every time you guys for a 22. 22 from England. All right. Well, listen, don't hurry it. It'll come. Says, I've always and the girlfriend and sex, but always been attracted to women, both romantically and sexually. Why do I question my sexuality now? It's the HOCD hitting you. It's a subset of OCD. So just learn how to understand it and how to rewire your brain. And it's got nothing to do with your inclination or your sexuality or your gender. It's the thought. It's the brain's thought, not your thought. It's the brain's thought that it's supposedly thinking is trying to protect yourself by overactive amygdala and alarm you and make you aware of certain things that are out there because it's been exposed to different lifestyle, different things that is not in line with your values, and yet it's out there. So the brain is trying to alarm you or protect you, but it's doing too much to the point that you think it's giving you a message. So you need to help the brain to calm down and not take that as something that you got to act in a certain way or defend yourself or debate with it. Just got to learn how to manage it. Otherwise, it's not going to change your sexuality or anything like that. Brett says, how do you know who to trust or not? Well, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. Different venues, different circumstances. Usually where things that is got financial risk or health risks, pretty much you trust no one. You trust yourself and do your own research. But if it's like something that, you go to a restaurant, you want to have food, well, country has rules, and they're most probably, if a reputable place, the food will be safe and you can eat it. If you go into the bank, well, it's a bank, they have their own rules, they're watched over, so you can make an investment there and not worried about it. You can trust those organizations. If it's, I don't know, a procedure of surgery or something, you got to do your own research, figure out, ask maybe a couple of doctors or find out what else is available, and make your choices that way, not just anybody says. If it's about, things like what we went through since 2019, 20, with all the inoculations and mandates and all that, then you got to do your own research, see if you want to do that or not. And one thing's for sure, you never trust the government. That's that's for sure. And Easy to Read says, for sure, I usually don't tell many people this, but I'm in Lethbridge, Alberta. Oh, why would you say that? Lethbridge, Alberta. I've heard about Lethbridge. I've never been there, but it's pretty cold, isn't it? But it's a famous place. Why wouldn't you say it? And Easy Tree says, what is that? Okay. And MN70 says, it's making me scared that when I suddenly will be with a woman, I won't like it. It makes me scream to myself, I'm straight. Yeah, you don't have to scream to yourself. It's the brain. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the brain. So don't worry about you. You're fine. And the brain is like a crazy guy out there when you're walking the street says garbage. You want to pay attention to that person, or you just want to walk by and go about your business? Same thing. Brain is mounted on your head, but it's not always sane or saying things that is making sense or in line with your values or, what is it? Compatible to what your, plans and goals and directions are. So you just treat it as some crazy shit that is making stuff that you don't need to pay attention to. And you learn how to help it. The brain is one of your organs. If the liver gets sick or kidney is not functioning well, you go seek medical attention to see how you can help it. It's part of your responsibility. The brain is not above you. The brain is not you. You're not the brain. Brain is an organ and it fucks up. So understand it. But it's so powerful that can make your body react. And then when the body reacts, you think, oh, that's an evidence that the brain thought was correct and accurate about you. No, it's not. It's two different things. I can give you a scenario that you're going to start reacting physically. For example, if you're imagining you're having a delicious food somewhere, or if you're having a sour grape that is out of season, you're in the vineyard in France, and you take from the vineyard, you take a green sour grape and put it in here, and you chew on it. You see, ooh, so sour, so sour. Then you get a lime and squeeze it in your mouth. My goodness. And you're going to be salivating already. if you haven't already. But there is no grape here. There is no lime that you squeeze in your mouth. The brain can make the body think that it is actually sour grape or the lime, and it reacts physically with the salivation. It salivates, but the actuality is none of them is there. So the fact that the brain can make the body react is not an evidence that what the brain suggested had any accuracy to it or actuality to it. Same thing with these sort of things. Intrusive thoughts, brain makes it, your body might react, but that reaction, or whatever the reaction may be, it doesn't mean, like, when something, let's say, make a sound at night, or something frightens you, and you get your hair stuck, standing straight on your skin, or you sweat, or you shiver. That's a reaction, that the suggestion that the brain made that there is a danger. So your body reacts to that belief, that suggestion, because the brain is powerful. But in fact, there was no danger. There was no wild animal. It was just a sound of the wind. So no, bodily reaction is an evidence that the brain's garbage had any accuracy about you. All right. So you relax and enjoy and focus on your girlfriend when you're with her. And doesn't matter what comes to your mind, you focus on what you're supposed to be paying attention to. It's like you're trying to study, and there's so many noise out there, or parties out there in this campus, or construction going on, or the bus or traffic sound, or there's a music playing, or the neighbor playing piano. You just somehow you focus more and more on your studies so you can get that page understood and go to the next page. That's what you do, right? You kind of don't pay attention as much as you can. Just keep paying more attention to what it is that you want to read and learn and research. Same thing. You're with your girlfriend, intrusive thought comes, you know that it's got nothing to do with you. It's the brain's malfunction. So you focus on whatever it is that you're enjoying. That's all. You don't have to talk to the brain. You don't have to convince it about anything. You don't have to debate it. You say, okay, whatever you think, that's fine. I'm busy here now. That's it. That's the reality. That's the actuality. And Easy Tree says, I'll be sure to promote the stream. I appreciate that. You guys know that I have a site, mind@seekstruth.com, mind@seekstruth.com. And if you guys wanted to talk with me privately, discussing your breakup issues or OCD issues, any of such matters, you can go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, make an appointment for a Skype consultation, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And for the new clients, for 1 hour registration, I throw in another half an hour for the first session, and then we'll have ample time and no rush, and we'll get to know the issues and we'll discuss it in detail. Brett Norris says, I just found that when I get close to people, I start getting paranoid thoughts and start to unconsciously distance myself from them. But I know it comes from fear of being hurt. I find I can only love people from a distance. Well, everybody can love people from the distance, but when you are in contact with them, then you can be able to judge them from their behavior and not their looks or their thoughts or their words, but their behavior, how they interact with you. And then you gain experience in life. Otherwise, you'll always be trying to shy away from people or situations because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone or make a judgment or move on or not. You just want to, be liked by everybody. No, you don't have to be liked by everybody. Fuck it. Just do your thing. Make your judgments. Judgment is very important. I've heard these non-judgmental thing started God knows when. It's all fucking bullshit. Because unless you're able to judge, you cannot go on in the direction that you plan on going on in this world, in this life. What do you mean non-judgmental? You do judge from the moment you wake up. Should I put this shoes on or that shoes on? Should I wash my face or shit first? Should I have coffee or tea? Should I have a muffin or eggs? Should I take this bus or walk? Should Judgment is part of our livelihood. That's part of our cognitive abilities to make the best, choices for ourselves. What kind of person I want to be friend with? Is he or she an asshole, or is she come from a good family and has got manners and I can, be compatible with, or things we like and we have some similar cultural background or coming from the same possible, caste in a way. So these are all judgments. Or you want to sit with someone who doesn't take a shower and stinks like shit and it doesn't wash up, or whatever else manners and attitude it has. Well, why do you want to be friends with that one? So judgment is part of a healthy living. This non-judgmental bullshit was just so they can take the control off, and then the society becomes controller of you, or the governments, and just you get used to not judging anything, so they can shit on your head and say, I can't judge, it must have been destiny. All right. Okay, good, Emin. Doesn't matter if it stops or comes back, it's all the same shit. It's like saying I had a diarrhea and it just, I did this, I did that, and eventually it just stopped. Okay, good. But if it comes again, it's still a diarrhea. You do something that stops. So it's not like, any different than the first time. So if these kind of thoughts that you say come back, HOCD comes back, it doesn't mean that, because it came back, it means something. No, it's still the same shit. You can get diarrhea many times during your life. So it doesn't mean that, my true nature is diarrhea. No, it just happens to, it's like cold. You get cold so many times. That's not your true nature. It just means you're getting cold a few times. Same thing, brain glitches and malfunctions, the same thing, can come and go. And you, as long as you know what to do with it, then it doesn't matter how many times it comes and goes. Same shit. Steven says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Steven. Male 43, Los Angeles. See, I did it for you now. Emin says, thanks, sir. You're quite welcome. There we go. I beat you to it, Steven. Male 43, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Somebody's cooking tonight. My window is open. Let me close it. It's quite a good food smell, but I'm full. Hey, Steven says, at work tonight and haven't an easy assignment. Nothing to haven't or have an easy assignment. Nothing to do for another 3 hours. Wow, okay, cool. Join us, won't you? my advertisement posture. All right, then. Come on, guys. I'll be with you another, it's only half an hour. Yummy. These days I've been having oh, what's the word in English? I forgot that word. Let me check it out. Uh-huh. I've been having hmm. All right, they can't translate it because this fruit in my mother tongue language, the name of the fruit can also be a connecting word between two words. It's like to, like I'm going to the school. This to is also in my language is also name of a fruit. So when I put the name of the fruit in Farsi to get the English version of it, it just tells me to. It doesn't tell me the name of it. Anyhow, that's whatever it is. Aha, there it is. Quince. I forgot. Quince. I've been having quince, one quince a day. It's so delicious, actually. It's different quince here than when I was a kid. In Iran, when you would have a quince, it was first of all hard to bite on. Secondly, you could not swallow it. You would get all the juice out of it, and then it would be so fiberish that you couldn't swallow it. You would just use it as if it's it's a machine gun. And just all these small pieces of nothing, but you couldn't swallow. It was so dense and so powdery type of thing. I don't know how to explain. Anyhow, so who else we have here? And Sid Bachlil, Sid Baklil, Sayed Baklil, maybe. Says, hello, Mehran, sir. I'm 29. And my problem is if I have interaction with friends, I have urge to look. If I look, you have urge to look. If I look, I get false attraction, groinal response. How can I best beat false? You don't have to beat it. You just look further. You look, say, okay, yeah, it's good looking. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I love you. Don't try to say, oh, that's not right, this and that. Yeah, it's not right. It's not what you are. But the brain is looking for a conclusion. And because it cannot come to the conclusion that it is already the way it is, and it has come up with some new intrusive thoughts and is looking for a conclusion for that intrusive thoughts. Look, for that, let me first go into talking about what is thinking and how you can stop thinking. And then we can understand what I'm talking about in relation to OCD. or intrusive thoughts, or HOCD. Look, when somebody asks you your name, for example, mine, I say, boom, Mehran. No thinking needed. Is the information is there, it's instinctive, I know it. Where were you born? Tehran. Boom, done. Somebody asks you your name, say John. Were you born? Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, wherever. These are information that is available. That's not thinking. But if somebody asks you, you are a pilot for a twin engine airplane. This airplane has 22 seats and has, I don't know, 6,000 horsepower each engine, or has 200 seats, I don't know. And it takes this much weight for its cargo, and its wingspan is this and that and so forth, and is going to go to Japan, and that's how many miles it is to Japan, and this much of fuel. So how long does it take to get to Japan? You calculate the fuel and the weight and how much it drag and how much you can, the stuff that you got to do, calculate. So from the time that you start calculating until the time you come with an answer, that's called thinking, the configuration time, configuring time. Now, when you come up with the answer, you say 22 hours. Thinking stops because you got an answer, a conclusion. Now, there are other ways that you can stop the brain from calculating and stop thinking. One is when you calculate and come to an answer and say 22 hours. And the brain says, okay, I got the answer. My mandate is done. Thinking stops. Or you do calculations and you can't figure it out. You don't have the right formula. You don't know how to do it. And eventually, after a while trying, you say, I don't know. So you say, I don't know. The brain gets a mandate. You don't know. Thinking stops. Or right from the beginning, you don't have time or have no interest to know. And you just say, without calculating anything or starting calculation, you say, I don't know. And I don't want to know. Thinking stops because the brain gets a mandate. Now, in OCD and HOCD, intrusive thoughts, when the brain comes up with some kind of a thing that is not in line with your values, like what you mentioned in here, that the false attraction or whatnot, and suggests to you that you like the guy or something, is looking for a conclusion because it posed a question or it posed a suggestion and it wants affirmation or conclusion. So there would be no fight, no debate, no exchange, no interchange, and then thinking stops. But because you are not what the brain is suggesting and you don't agree with it, you try debating with the brain. And the brain keeps getting energy back and forth and debating with you. This will continue on, and the brain ends up getting into a habit of thinking because it says, if he is arguing with me, that means I can get energy from him. I can get attention and reaction from him. And that's what the brain wants to do, wants to get reaction because he wants to be you. It wants to get motivation to continue something, to feel that it has a place. Because the brain doesn't have a place. Its home is in thinking, is in occupation. So it wants to occupy itself. So it comes up with things that causes interaction, debate, and disagreement. So it'll continue. And in that busyness, occupation, it finds a home. Because the brain doesn't have a home in your body unless you teach it, and that's a different time, different story for a different time. And therefore, it's all over the place, but in a debate or in an occupation, it hones a place. It becomes part of something, and that's what it does. So in order to stop this continuation of this suggestion or with this false attraction or whatever it is that's suggesting to you that is not in line with your values, you got to give it a conclusion. In other words, you don't let it You don't give it any resistance to feed upon it and continue back and forth. So you say, he calls you gay, you say, yeah, okay, I'm gay. There is no more reason for a person who calls you something to debate with you if you don't give back that he can get a rise on it, or he can debate or fight with you. So he says, you're an asshole. He says, thank you. And he just says, oh, what the fuck now? He didn't come back to say, hey, you're a fucking asshole yourself. Then I got to go and start, putting my dukes up. None of that takes place. So the guy feels there's nothing to fight with. The brain also, when it suggests that a false attraction or something, and you up it, say, yeah, I like it. I like to suck his dick. Ooh, nice. The brain has nothing else to add to it. It just says, fuck, he's ahead of me. I can't make him debate anything or fight with me. Or it says, you're gay. It says, yeah, I'm gay. Right on. Bring it on. And so you put signs and you dial your clock, say, okay, every hour, tell me. And when it rings, I say, oh, yeah, I'm gay. It's time to be gay. After a while, the brain says, Jesus, I can't get a rise out of this guy. I can't make him interact with me or debate with me. And he gave me a conclusion. He's gay. So there's no more reason for me to tell him anything. So you get a false attraction. So yeah, I like it. Yummy. So you kind of surprise the brain, and the brain thinks that you just gave him a conclusion. False attraction, yes. You're gay, yes, I am. And suddenly, thinking stops. There's nothing more to fight for as far as the brain is concerned. It's already resolved. So it finds an empty place, nobody to talk to, because there is no exchange. Same as somebody in the street says something that is irrelevant to you, and you just say, and you go. No continuation possibilities. So that's what you do with the brain. You want to give it no excuse to continue. Therefore, you give it a conclusion by allowing it to express itself. And then you say, good for you. Yes, you're right. Excellent. That's it. It's like you're talking to a stupid person. That's it. So there is no more anxiety from what the brain says, because you are now teaching the brain behavior by not allowing it to have an excuse to have a confrontation or exchange of energy or debate or disagreement or whatever. So you put it in its place, and the brain goes and does its own thing. And there is, of course, Dr. Schwartz 4 steps for OCD and so on. And then there's ERP, there is CBT, all the brilliant researchers and experts in psychology and psychotherapy, such as Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Philipson, all these brilliant professors. You can watch the programs and they can show you how you can rewire your brain through neuroplasticity and the exercises that is relevant to dealing with these kind of glitches. All right. Now tell me that you can get this kind of discussions on any other channel. So my question is, where the fuck are all these subscribers? Steven says, I've been doing well, but today, for some reason, my mood was completely off and felt really down. I'm not too happy at the moment. I feel like I need a change in my life and thinking of the past. Thinking of the past, it must be thinking of the past, my job is having a holiday party this Thursday, might at Thursday night at the brewery. I'm not sure if I should go. There are some people who I'm good with, but not very many like my not like very many like my last job. It doesn't matter. You just go there and hang around for an hour. If you like it, you stay longer. If you didn't, go home. Just don't drink much. Just the stupid thing. I mean, everybody knows it's part of a social thing. But what social thing? The fucking thing is alcohol. It's bad for every fucking cell of your brain. So enjoy the party, have goodies and have talk and socialize. Whether you like him or you don't like him, just get to know people. That's all. You're not there to hunt. Unless I can find a girlfriend, I don't want to go because they're not too. Don't worry about it. Just go. Talk and you come home and say, oh, it was waste of time. But, better than sticking at home. Because if you don't go and you sit at home, you feel sorry for yourself. Oh, everybody's out, but I'm not. What's wrong with me? What's happening with my life? Nothing. Fucking you expect things. If we expect to gain something when we go out or we go somewhere, it's like you're expecting to get a reward for the effort that you're making. But just go there to socialize with no plans, no outcome, no expectations. Have fun, and did you have fun? Great. You didn't have fun? Fuck it. Don't just come home. So, okay, that wasn't that great, but it was better than staying home. That's it. And as far as you not feeling so, sometimes we're all like that. And it happens. Sometimes it's hormonal, sometimes it's doom and gloom, sometimes lack of something that you want. Sometimes you think because you don't have a girlfriend, that's end all be all. And if you do have a girlfriend, then everything is hunky dory. It's not. Every situation has its own challenges. Sometimes you find when you're alone, you're in control of your whole life and your mood based on your own interactions and efforts. And sometimes when you have a girlfriend, there are many things you didn't expect, and you end up not feeling exactly as you would like to feel and count on it every day, because every day some interaction that you didn't expect could happen that is contrary to what you expected your flow of the day to go, because now you are in a relationship and relationships exchange opinions and situations and challenges, and you find yourself, in addition to dealing with your own things, you're also dealing with your your girlfriend or boyfriend, however, whatever the situation is. So happiness in life is not about what you lack having or what you should be having and you don't have. Basically, happiness should be based on small things that you can have it many different times a day. Like breathing. I'm happy that I can breathe many times a day. Or I'm happy if I can have tea many times a day. I'm happy if I have a client. Small things that is easy to have. Clients, tea, breathing, gym, things you like to do, and you can do it almost every day on point, on your demand, rather than hoping that you will have a promotion this year. Maybe that's once a year. So you'll be happy once a year. Or hoping that you will have a house or buy a house or buy a car. These are every few years. So you can't base your happiness on big things. Base your happiness on small things and focus on those small things that you can make them happen several times a day. And that's what really makes life happy. So thinking about that, I must have a girlfriend to be happy. I must have a new job. I must have my old job. I must have a car. I must have a change to be happy. No, happiness must come from inside you. Given the necessities of life, which is health, and then some food, and then some decent place to sleep, and some water to wash yourself, that should be the basis of happiness. The rest of it is gravy. So stop having a scenario or condition for you to be happy. Choose to be happy. As I said, given your health and your loved ones, then being happy is a choice, not a condition. Unless I have this, I won't be happy. I gotta have more of that. Otherwise, I won't be happy. No, don't make it conditional. Make it in such a way that you can be happy because of so many different things that you can achieve during the day, because they're simple things. And then you're happy most often. And so we have Thummerman. Thummerman, I need to know your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. Which city, where? And I'll read your question then. Steven says, my birthday is coming up. All right. Happy birthday. When is it coming? He says, I'll be another year older. So I'm not looking forward to that either. Really? So I should go die then. Fuck you, Steven. What are you talking about? Should I not be here? Because I just got 1 year older about, a month ago. October 2nd. I'm 69 now. But I honestly, I don't feel that old. I just don't believe that I am that old. Let's put it this way. I still think I'm that. Well, I have different hats. Sometimes I'm a teacher, sometimes I'm a philosopher, sometimes I'm a salesman, sometimes I'm with my clients, sometimes I'm a consultant, and sometimes I'm that boy who used to go horseback riding or play tennis or fall in love every day or lost. I don't know what it was. And then Steven says, my birthday is coming up. I'll be another year looking forward to it. Okay, he says, you're right. I'll just go and check it. Yeah, go check it out, man. See what's going on. But don't go there just because you want to meet someone or hoping. I hope. Then you'll be disappointed. Just go there for no shit reason. That's it. Just have fun. Check it out, as you said. And Yash Finn says, I took your suggestion and joined the gym. Ah, good girl. Yashvin says, do men ever regret leaving the woman who loved them? Yes, of course they do. Of course they do. More than you think, of course. There's no difference between emotion is emotion, whether it's a female emotion or male emotion. They all have regrets because nobody is Aristotle or Socrates, and we all fuck up or make mistakes, or somehow at the time we felt that's the right thing to do, but later on we forget about the condition and situation that made us make that decision. And then because we forget all those reasons, which they still exist, when we only focus on the good times, which is the nature of a human being, we are built to forget about bad things and remember only good things. And if that wasn't the case, then women who would get pregnant with all that pain of delivery, they would never want to get pregnant again, because that pain is ferocious. That pain is second to none. But yet 2 months later, they're ready to get pregnant again because they forget about that. And we're built that way, to forget about pain and traumas and so on, if you allow it. And sometimes you may need help to get rid of it, but the nature is that you will forget. So they will forget about the reasons why they broke up and they left the woman who loved them, or they left the man who loved them. And they start missing or regretting. Whether correct or not, that's beside the point. But even if it was the right choice they made by breaking that relationship, later on they might not remember and they regret having broken that relationship. let alone if they actually was a good positive relationship and somehow they made that decision for whatever reason, God knows. Steven says, that's true. I need to think of things differently. And I guess because more grateful for what I have. Yes, we often tend to think what we have accomplished is not so important because we've accomplished it and we don't think much about ourselves. So we say, whatever I've accomplished must be easy and everybody can accomplish. So that's not really something to write home about. But in fact, it is. You got to give yourself kudos and you got to give yourself pointers and you got to appreciate yourself and your efforts and so on. And don't be like that. Always appreciate yourself just as you appreciate anybody else who does something good. And Yashvin says, when men see the woman they had left doing well in life, does it ever strike them they shouldn't have done the woman dirty? Yes, definitely. Because they can see the woman is strong and she doesn't need them. And she went on and made something out of her life and herself. And it's not like she was hung up on them or because they left, suddenly they can't live. No, they become stronger. Usually, anybody, woman or man, when they see atrocities or they see situations that are not the same as it was or negative situation, they rise for the occasion and become stronger and more powerful. Like the eagle, they open their wings and fly and soar above the clouds and see things from above, and they train and they become more powerful, more alert, and they build something. And that's what pisses the hell out of the ones who thought, oh, they're so hunky-dory or whatever. But the thing is, you shouldn't even give a shit to make the person who left you feel anything at all. You should not accomplish yourself because of that person, that woman, or that man, or whatever. You got to do what you got to do because that is your journey. That is your life. Unless these atrocities really happen, and I'm not condoning it, I'm not saying it should happen to everybody, but it does happen to all of us, one way or another, different matters. Unless such challenges happens to one doesn't grow. Life is about growing, and you only grow if something terrible happens. Hopefully nothing health wise, but uh, situations that are negative, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in finances, jobs, whatnot. You grow because of these stresses and because of these negative happenings and challenges. And that's how we men and women through the ages have come around, and now we come up with sciences and technologies that we never had because there were difficult situations in the back that we needed some solution for it, and that pushed us to grow and come up with solutions. So same thing, when somebody leaves you, you become more powerful and see and take it by the horn and break the back of that bull that is attacking you, which is life situations and whatever it is that has caused you harm or caused you discomfort, and you rise above it and prove to yourself and everybody else, I don't give a shit. I'm stronger than life. That's your plan. You're stronger than life. And now, Tumorman says, I'm 48, male, Algerian. Ah, from Algeria. All right. Are we reaching that? Or are you in England or somewhere? Or you're in Algeria in actuality? Okay, let me go back to your question. And Tumorman says, when you have a divorce, how can you overcome negative feelings? What's there to be negative? If it was a good marriage, you wouldn't come to divorce. Now that it says come to divorce, that's your salvation. That is your open path to make something good for yourself in this life. Because if that was good, it would have not broken. There was something fucked up about it that it didn't show itself up, or nobody had the guts or the opportunity to end it. Somehow it ended, and it's good for both sides. One who has ended it, the other one who has actually wanted to end it and didn't see that this is not worth it. But now the opportunity is that the road is open. I can now be free and do what I want to do, build it according to my own plans. So what's there to feel negative about? I know changing from one position to another one could make you feel it's a negative situation. But you got to turn it around, see the facts. It was negative all this time. That's why it never got anywhere that it should have, or continued as it did take so long to break. It should have continued, but it broke. Why? Because it was never really the right choice. And now that it's finally come to the end of it, that's the beginning of fixing and correcting that mistake. And that's not negative. You got to see it the way it is. It's an opportunity to have the control of your life in your hand and build what you couldn't build all along because it was a wrong union. And Timmerman says, how can you know that not you cause of a divorce? Whether you cause or not, it takes two to tango. However it was, don't look for someone to blame or not feel blaming yourself. That's irrelevant. The relevancy of it is that it was not working. And it takes two people for something not to work. There's a bolt and nuts, and they don't fit. Is there something wrong with the bolt or something wrong with the nut? In the case of bolt and nuts, neither one. They just have to find this bolt, have to find a new nut, and this nut got to find a new bolt that they would match. That's all. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong with either one. In the case of human beings, unfortunately, often one of them is a fuckhead, is a narcissist, is an asshole, whether it's a woman or the man, doesn't matter, it happens. But in many, many cases, both members of that union are normal people. And they're not narcissists, they're not crazy, they're not doing shit thing, they're not cheating, they're not doing nothing. But they just can't function together and they're not compatible. Well, even in that case, separation or divorce is a beginning of a new hope. Not that it's a negative thing and you got to find someone to blame. As long as it's not my fault, then it's okay. Nobody's fault. If they're two decent people and nobody did anything wrong, it's nobody's fault. But if they're assholes, then that's even a happier occasion that you're now not stuck in that situation anymore. So all good. And Yoshvin says 22 female, India. Thank you for that. All right. And Steven says, lol. I don't know what you're saying lol too, but okay. Steven says, no, we all need you, Mirman. Yeah, I can see the fuckers are all 500 of you. There's only 5, God damn it. Sid Baklil says, sir, also if I have interaction with friends, OCD, reverse it in bad way with sensation in back area. Doesn't matter. I said brain has the power to make the body react, but that has no meaning or relevancy to you or your inclination because you are the awareness and your value says, I don't like that. But it keeps suggesting and the body reacts. So what? You are the entity. The awareness is you, not the reaction of the body and not the suggestion of the brain. So regardless of, don't take those as a cues of what is true or not. No. All right. Yashvin says, how long does it usually take for that regret to come? Oh, come on, Yashvin. Now you're hoping to make the guy suffer. Move on. Don't waste your life. Life is not summed up to one person, one man, or to one woman that you're trying to make them feel sad or sorry that having left you. Fuck them all. Focus on your plans. Focus on your journey. Focus on your road. Focus on your destination. Focus on your connection with life and enjoyment and learning and research and growing. Focus on that. That's what you should impress, which is you. You got to impress yourself, not some asshole who left you or some relationship that didn't work out. Who gives a fuck? Who are they? That their choice of leaving you or staying with you would make a difference in your character. You got to be happy that the asshole who actually left you wasn't worth to be around you. And you're happy about that, because if it did deserve you, you would have understand what he or she has in his or her mind and would have stuck with it. But if they don't appreciate it, fuck him. Another one. Life is such a big opportunity venue, and you want to get stuck in one relationship just because you're now in it's habitual. You become it's become your habit. Fuck the habit. Move on. Get a new. And Yashvin says, my ex is on social media. He watches my stories. Block him. I have stopped stalking him. Don't block the guy. Is it okay if I let him watch me be happy and enjoy my life? No. Why? Is it a lure? You want the guy back? The asshole who cheated you and went and married somebody else or wants to marry or whatever the fuck it is that you told me he's doing. You want to get that sucker's attention, that piece of shit? If he had any values, he would have seen the value in you and appreciate and cherish it. If it doesn't, that means that doesn't take away from you. That doesn't diminish you. That means he didn't deserve to be around a person like you. He couldn't understand the person like you. So fuck him. Why do you want him to watch you? Why do you want to look happy? What the fuck is that? Do you want to be his clown? Block the son of a bitch and move on. Show yourself that you're strong. You don't need to impress anyone. All right, Stephen says, that girl that kept doing things to get my attention in the ICU, I haven't ran into her again since she now on day shift. I feel kind of disappointed because I think, what if at that time I would have talked to her and got her number? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Listen, as Professor Ferris, my advisor in university in business administration, in one of his classes said in behavior and organization, at the time one makes a decision, one believes that the decision is correct. At the time when you made that decision of not getting her phone number or were shy to do it, you had your own roles and your reasons. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe you were scared. Maybe what if she would not give it to you? A rejection, whatever it was, that's your judgment. So don't regret it. You are now a different person. If it was today, you would have probably get a date from her. But it wasn't then. So don't compare yourself now with you then and expect then to have behaved as you would do now. So just, if it happens again, her or somebody else you like, what is it that you're trying to preserve? You're a man. You go ask her, say hi. I think you're hot. God, look at you. Listen, I'd like to take you out. Not like this. I'm just giving you a little bit of a funny points. But talk to the girl, get to know her and say, not too long. Say, I had a great time talking to you. I'd love to do it again. If you're up for it, let's exchange numbers. And she says, no, thank you, fuck off. Then say, okay, very good. Thank you very much. I love that answer. Or she says, oh, sure, here it is, my number. Then there it is. But what are you trying to save? Oh, I want to be untouchable, not to be rejected. We are men. We're supposed to be rejected. Fuck it. Go get rejected as many times as you can. How can you score a point? How can you sell something if you don't approach every customer pass by? Hey, you want to buy something? I mean, even if you stand in the corner of the street and you just throw a rock up there, and then as soon as it falls down, says the first person that walks by after the rock hits the ground, I'm going to ask them, Do you want to buy something? Eventually somebody says, hey, yeah, what you're selling. So it's a numbers game, right? So you've got to have that ability to be rejected. Of course, be gentleman, be proper and classy, but approach, talk, and then see how it goes. If it was called for, continue. If it didn't, well, bow out respectfully and move on. Don't waste your time with someone who doesn't appreciate you or thinks she's too good for you, so fuck off. just just think of it, it's a game. Don't be so shy. Life is so short. I don't want you to come back every once in a while and say, oh, I should have talked to that girl or that other girl. Go talk to them when the opportunity is there. And if you didn't, then shame on you. Then don't regret it. That's the end of it. Learn from it. Next time, do better. All right. Yes, at the time I was all down from the past girl and would go to work not really paying attention to anyone. Yeah, that was your mistake. You just made that piece of shit such a big deal and it just paralyzed you for God knows how long. Learn from it and move on. Move your ass. Now, Tamerman says, thank you. You're quite welcome. And Said Baklil says, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Said Baklil says, today I took my friend feet. I get discomfort, feeling anxious, groinal response. Why is it weird, scary? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't have an answer for everything. You don't have to question everything. You don't have to answer anything. You don't have to debate something, everything. You don't have to think about things. Why is this? Who gives a fuck about why? Just move on. You live with your choices and vetoes. You don't approve of it? There it is. That's it. Doesn't matter how it felt, anxious, comfortable, uncomfortable, whatever. Okay, you learn from it and move on. So it doesn't matter what the brain suggests, what your body feels. You live by your choices and vetoes. That's it. Yashwin says, do you have any good suggestions for breathing exercise to calm anxiety? Yes, I did mention that there is a very good exercise for anxiety. Whenever you have anxiety, you do two breathing, one on top of the other before you exhale. In other words, you breathe in and then you breathe in again before you exhale and you hold a few seconds and you let it out easy. Then when you finish breathing out, you breathe normally a few times, then you do it again. So it looks like this. Breathe normally. You have to breathe again. Normally. Now breathe 2 times again. Breathe normally. What anxiety? You're so relaxed because what you're doing, this exercise is when you take the thoughts out of the brain. You get out of the brain. When the consciousness comes out of the brain, or you come out of the consciousness, there's no longer inventory, there's no longer thoughts to be made. So you have a brain with no thoughts in it. And when there's no thoughts, there's no anxiety, because anxiety and panic attack, they're all thought-based. So when you take the thought out of the brain, or you cause a situation where your brain has no more thoughts in it, just like now, you have no thoughts in it. You breathe 3 times, double breath, and exhale out and breathe normally in between. You're clean in your head. And when it's clean in your head, there's no thoughts. There's no thoughts. There's no anxiety. And that's how you deal with that. And you can do that anytime during the day, anywhere, 2, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you wish. And that'll help you out. All right, guys. It's 1 hour and 16 minutes. Looks like I've answered all the questions. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.